Welcome to the Panavox channel. So we're going to go back into the world of sports here, and we're going to talk a bit about Eric Esch, known as more popularly as Butterbean, a very well-known boxer into the, I believe, late 90s, early 2000s was his kind of big heyday as a boxer. And he was known particularly for being a very large. I think he weighed well in excess of 350 pounds, somewhere between 350, 400 pounds, I believe was his normal fighting weight. So he was a heavyweight. But he was also not particularly tall. I think maybe somewhere between 350, 400 pounds, maybe a little bit under 6 feet, somewhere between 5'10", 6 feet, something like that. And interesting history about this guy. Are you familiar? Had you heard anything about Butterbean before?
Not until you mentioned him to me. I'm not a big, I'm not a very knowledgeable about wrestling at all, really, to
Or
be honest.
boxing? Yeah.
Oh, he's a boxer. Okay.
Well, he also
Yeah.
did Ultimate Fighting, I think, where you kind of do the kickboxing and the wrestling,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So he kind of went.
Yeah, that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah, I don't really typically pay much attention to it either, but the Butterbean stuff really got my attention because it's an interesting story. So he was born in Alabama, but at a very young age, his family took him up to Michigan. So I think he was like mostly raised in Michigan, and he's uh, he was kind of bullied as a kid. They picked on him a lot because he liked to eat and he was real big, and so he wasn't really involved in athletics or anything. And I think that some point when he was in high school, maybe he got tired of being picked on, got tired of being bullied, and he shows up to talk to the. They had some boxing going on, or there was some coach that was teaching boxing, and he just showed up and said, "I want to learn how to box." And the coach gave him some gloves and put him in the ring. And, I mean, he wasn't in shape. He hadn't really played sports at all. And he just started knocking people on the ground. And it wasn't, and you might think, well, it's because he was so much bigger than everybody, but that was not it. It was because he had incredibly fast hands. So you take this guy who doesn't have any athletic background, or hadn't played sports or anything like that, and just shows up one day and says he's tired of being picked on. He weighs well over 400 pounds, I think, at that point. He actually slimmed down to go to turn professional. He was like pushing 500 or something in high school. But he shows up and they put gloves on him, and he's got lightning fast hands, just really fast, and just floors everybody. And they're like, whoa, there's something going on. But he also had like this incredible amount of I guess he had like a lot of feeling behind it. Like he was real emotional about boxing. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like I think there was something psychological where Butterbean where Eric Esch was like really channeling a lot of this frustration and resentment that had built up over the years about being picked on. And he was just like,
yeah,
he just kind of let it all out. You know, and
yeah,
and it was like confronting a hurricane or a tornado. It's like anybody that came up against him was just completely demolished by his hands, not
yeah,
by his. So it's funny that like his weight was not really a big factor in any of this, and. And so he lost weight and he started training, and then he got his weight down to about, I guess, around 350, but he was still really big. I mean, that's a big weight for somebody that's not quite 6 feet tall, you know.
yeah,
And then they get him in the ring and they put him up against these big muscular dudes that are, buff and, all this, six-pack abs and stuff, and he just floors them. And then when he finishes them off, he goes, yeah, and you can see it's like something real personal for him. It's almost like he's saying, "You picked on me all these years, and now, I kicked your butt." Ah!
yeah.
But I'm like,
It sounds like a Jim Croce song.
how's that? Oh yeah, the bad Leroy
Yeah,
Brown song. Yeah.
don't mess around, Jim.
Oh
That
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's like moments where Butterbean would get ready to go. By the way, he got the name Butterbean because when he was trying to get his weight down, so he could fight longer because he'd get tired too easily when his weight was up. But they thought he could increase his
Hmm.
stamina by slimming him down a little bit. So they put him on a diet of butterbeans. So he's eating these bowls of butterbeans, and
Oh, really?
that's where he got the nickname, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
Butterbean was kind of cool because like the other fighters would come into the ring and they would be talking trash. I mean, you could see their lips moving, but I'm kind of guessing about what they were saying. It could have been something like, "Yeah, you're nothing. You know, I'm gonna knock you on the canvas. You think you're a big man. You're gonna. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, buddy," or something like that. And Butterbean didn't say anything. He was just like this. He was like just kind of looking at him, and just
Yeah.
like no reaction, just kind of stone faced looking at him. The guys are just talking trash to him, and he just be looking at him like, we're gonna see, you know. And then these guys go after Butterbean, and it's like, and then he would take punches, and he was like a tank, you hit him here, hit him there, hit him here, there, and he's like, that all you got? He just so
Yeah.
he was an amazing fighter. He would take incredible amount of punches from these guys, and it's like they were hitting. It's like you almost felt like the guy who hit him was like going, "Ow, ow, my hand," because like
Yeah.
you hit a wall of concrete when you hit this guy. And
Right.
but anyway, Butterbean was just a legend. He beat people that were supposed to that you would have thought would have beat him, and they couldn't do him. And then he would knock people out, and he would do it in ways, like I said, nobody would expect because he would have these, like I said, lightning fast hands and very unorthodox windmill style. Because normally you want to keep your hands in tight for defense, but he had no defense. He would just his hands would come around like this, like
Yeah.
when it's like the first thing they teach you, don't box like that. And it's like Butterbean was like, yeah, but in my case, I'm gonna make it work, and he did. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel like that Butterbean is kind of like a boxing hero for anybody who was bullied and picked on, kind of because he kind of like rose up and said, it was like, what is the Twisted Sister song? We're not gonna take it. It's like that maybe that was the track that was playing in his head,
Yeah.
when he was fighting or something.
Right.
But he retired. He's not fighting any. That was many years ago. And he had, like I said, he had a stint with Ultimate Wrestling or something, or an Ultimate Fighting, and
Yeah.
he lost a couple of matches. I'm not saying he was completely undefeatable, uh, but he had an incredible record overall. I think he was really distinguished himself, and it just kind of show you that you don't have to have an absolutely perfect body to be an incredible athlete. So we
Right. Yeah.
we salute you, Eric Esch, aka Butterbean. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.